Hello guys, this is Kabase. Third HBR video this week, and this is the time for the normal announcements, though nonetheless a special one since we're celebrating nearing 500 days of HBREN. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting from March 6, we'll have another side story event focusing on Chie, that is Project Fenrir, 8,000 blessings upon the event. Another event written by Jun Maeda, and get ready to meet the origins of Gorilla Lolita in this one. Can't say anything further than that, you just have to find out. Now for the freebies. We have 2 lock-in bonus, and first, I know who's that on the cover picture, but I'll talk about that later. What's more important is that what she has. That is a login bonus that runs for 20 days, and that will give us 6,000 quartz, 100 limestones, and 100 ore passes in total. Yeah, it's a lot, and we love it. But there's another Suppression Mission Part 3 login bonus that will give us 20 of each gem and diamonds you see there, plus 21 limestones in total. Now, why the abundance in limestones? Because there's a special campaign called Limestone to Quartz. Simple premise is that 1 limestone use can get you 10 quartz, up to a maximum of 5,000 quartz, plus other bonus items, so you need to spend a grand total of 500 limestones during this period. This runs for over 3 months, and considering the 2 login bonuses alone earlier already gives you 121 limestones, it's very doable to do, and especially easier now since we'll get the skip button and pretty much the other half of this update. Check out the last video, link in the description after finishing this one. Now for the gameplay side of things, first we'll have a new Anachrony boss, and it's none other than Chapter 4 Part 2's main boss. Skull Plume Final Form. Now, this skull feather, yes, I want to continue to call it that as originally intended, is thankfully not as annoying as the head and tail skull feather. And while it has 1 DP bar, it has a higher threshold. But nonetheless, if you have defeated the first form, then it's basically a sure deal that you can handle this final form Anachrony, because it's gonna be much easier and less annoying. Next is that this update will release Suppression Mission Part 3 and would unlock areas 5 and 6 along with it. More Nanamin content, chicken out baby. Considering this is the only part left for this mode, I hope you enjoy it to the fullest. And another one is the typical, which is the next challenge number 36, Robust Color. As usual, here on screen are the multiplier conditions for the next 2 weeks. Lower stats, but that's because this boss buffs itself and debuffs your squad like a motherfucker. Also, I suggest taking the week 1 conditions, especially if you're reliant on overdrive, because week 2 conditions are doozy for OD reliant teams, and yeah. Next is that we'll have another Clock Tower expansion, and with it comes Tenin and Fubukin's Dark Matter material to evolve their SS1 skill. Here on screen, Tenin's just increasing her defense down potency, and for Fubukin, makes it that her evolved skill now includes a 2-turn single target defense down on top of her 1-turn fragile turning into a 2-turn fragile, and the single target status down only inflicts when you use that skill in overdrive is now before her attack, so this also benefits her by inflicting more damage. Next one is the event Dark Matter materials. First is from the UNI event currently running, which has Mia's evolved skill that gives 1-turn single target attack down and permanent defense down. And for Chia's event, it has Kura's Dark Matter material that gives her SS1 evolved skill that basically removes her self-defense down from that skill and instead gives your entire party except herself plus 5 SP after using her react skill, and it recovers your SP up to 30 SP at maximum. Now we get to the banners, and it's 2 banners with 4 new SS Memorias, and the second banner, boy, it's been a long time coming. Anyways, let's start with the banner that came in the event. First up is Spring Bloom's Thinking of You Monica, who is a single target light attacker that also gives her own buffs to herself. Her EX skill costs 5 tokens. Yes, tokens or totem for a 5 hit light single target attack with a plus 50% HP modifier that ramps up even harder on additional turns. And one crucially missed detail is that it doesn't consume her skill count during those extra turns, letting her go nuclear once the tokens are stacked. Now, before we get to the other skills, to use this Memoria, it's highly recommended to get her Welfare S Memorial from the Observation Report number 1186 event for her skill from that Memoria that gives 1 turn self attack up, self token up, and self additional turn. And would you look at the conditions paired with her EX skill? This is the most effective way of using this Memoria. But other than that, her non-EX skill is also surprisingly good. While 16 SP is a hard sell most of the time, a 5 turn self flight attack up that doesn't stack twice, so you know it's good, like 130% at minimum good, plus 5 turn self mind eye, strictly 120%, so again, doesn't stack twice, meaning she can run your team without a dedicated light buffer or even someone like Sutama. Then her passive skill, yes, she has a passive skill on top of a non-AX active skill that turns her normal attacks into a weak light AoE one for token slash totem forming AoE waves. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, her first LB0 passive adds 1 token per unique enemy hit, so 2 enemies get 2 tokens, and so on and so forth. And her second LB0 passive gives self additional turn after using her EX skill, so if you want to use her EX skill, get an extra turn and spam again if you have 10 or more plus tokens. And while her LB1 is typical, her LB3 adds 1 light attack up during extra turns. So using her EX skill twice at 10 or more tokens is the way to go. Overall, she's the Memoria definition of invest in tokens and watch her delete bosses. But of course, she absolutely needs a token supplier like White Suit Yuina and her own Welfare S Memoria skill to hit max tokens fast, and without them, she's a slow starter. That's my only caveat with her. If you have the right conditions, she's one of the best light DPS around. She's considered safe. The other one, Pharaoh Insanity Chie, is a light healer slash SP battery hybrid, but unfortunately, she's built around the same token system as Monanyan, but unlike Monanyan, this isn't good. As her EX skill that costs 5 tokens again, delivers a 10 hit light single target attack that converts 30% of the damage into party wide DP recovery and gives everyone plus 3 SP, so Chia needs to deal damage strong enough to make her healing effective. Her non-EX skill, only usable 4 times and costs 13 SP, is the SP battery skill purely, giving plus 3 SP to every member of your party except herself, so at maximum, you get 15 SP out of this skill. Her LB0 passive gives a token per enemy hit, same as Monanyan, and her LB1 passive gives another token, this time every turn, and her LB3 passive gives plus 2 party morale after every EX skill use. Unfortunately, like Monanyan, unless you're using a light team comprising of 30G or a light team that uses a lot of turns to beat the boss, I don't see Chie seeing much use, and while she's not as bad as her SS1, she would be a deadweight even on a light team most of the time, so she's not safe for the future. Now the next banner is 29! Goddamn banners too late. Well, actually 26 if we're not including the 3 banners not released in the end yet, between this banner and the one before Chie and Monanyan. Anyways, let's start with the older sister Sleepy Pajamas Night. Yotsuha is essentially the light version of her SS1. Her 14 SP EX skill gives light skill attack up, light crit damage up, and for light memorias only, hit count buff with a 5 times 6% potency. Then her non-EX skill at 5 SP gives 1 single target attack. That's basically it. Then her LB0 passive gives a 25% boost on her attack up buffs if 3 or more light memorias are in your party. Then her LB3 has a specific condition where she must have at or over 80% of her DP and be at the rear at turn start to grant frontline light attack up. And her LB1, I mentioned this last because Mua later has the same passive, plus 1 per turn, but instead of the front line, this only affects if she's in the rear or back line. Honestly, Yotsuo would have been a really good light memorial for Light Team for a while if she was released in the end around the manners of her original release in JP. But with Light getting stronger, Monanyan being the prime example we're here, she's okay as a secondary Light Team buffer, but she's no longer needed in the grand scheme of things, so her future is not safe. Lastly is early spring Headwind Mua. She has a 10 SP EX skill that max at 4 use that gives your ally DP recovery, then plus 3 SP, then plus 1 skill count, with the exceptions being skill use recovery or limited skills. Then she has a 6 SP non-EX skill, max at 10 uses, removes party status, specifically the virus debuff and weak party DP recovery. Her LB3 gives your party plus 7 DP per turn when she's at the back. She is a non-elemental healer, useless non-EX skill, and since her entire kit is useless, you can't even take advantage of her EX skill. God, she's worse than even some S Memorias. Yes, S Memorias. Do not even think about getting her, okay? Just not. Alright. Has she fainted from my comments? Good, because I actually meant it, and it really hurts as someone who really likes Mu as a character. From an element and general perspective, Monoyan is one of the best light DPS if you overcome her caveats and if you pair her with White Suit Yuina and, again, her welfare as Memoria skill. Next is that Yotsuha got power creep and or phase out in light teams, unfortunately, and Chie and Mua are deadweight healers. Sorry, I do not recommend pulling on these two banners, and yeah. Though as always, if you love the characters, their artworks, or want their specific abilities, feel free to ignore my advice and pull for them. One more notable mention is that Nanamin SS1 is also getting her rerun, and considering this update also gives her improvement in her kit, this Memoria is now a really good Thunder buffer, and combine that with her SS2 makes her the premier Thunder buffer for your Thunder team in the future. So if you have SS2, I suggest pulling on SS1 or getting her SS1 as well to make use of her full Thunder buffer capabilities. And yeah, the last banners I have to mention are the paid Quartz exclusive 500-day celebration SS guaranteed recruitment and the paid Quartz exclusive 500-day celebration wishes recruitment, which are both skips, and the 500-day celebration selection ticket recruitment, which this is a selector, so if the pool of memorials is good, feel free to buy it. And yeah, that's in the video, I guess. We subscribe, hit the notification bell so when I present my videos, share with a friend and watch this video. So yeah, see you next time. Bye!